This is Rachel
And Sarah.
from Tales of Dice, and today we're testing BITBOX. Okay, we are going to be BITBOXing a fair amount of Antoine Bauza games. So we've got Seven Wonders, Takenoko, Tokaido, Ghost Story, and Samurai Spirit, and then we have a couple expansions. And we're going to box all of this into a extra large BITBOX. And the cool thing about this is it might be kind of odd putting a bunch of games in one box, but if you boxed all of these separately, it would be a medium and 3 smalls, I believe, which would fit in, so you would take you 2 box drawers. So this way, if you put them all in the one box, they can all go in the one drawer, which is kind of handy. And then it would also you could put potentially the Takenoko player boards in the box as well. All of the leaderboard, or like the Seven Wonders boards, they would fit, but if you put them on the bottom, but that'd be annoying. So you start off with the Seven Wonders game, and they are too tall to stand upright, so they have to lay down. And we have these little dividers that we just kind of made to show you what they might look like. You could put all the games in and just have everything on top of each other. You might save a little bit more space too that way, if you don't mind digging through your pieces. Which, when we've taken some games mobile, and we just kind of put everything in the box together, and it actually worked out really well. So it's kind of up to your personal preference. So there is all of Seven Wonders. So it takes up about the size of a small box. So we're going to move on to Takenoko, and these are all just the base games. We'll add in the expansions later. You can see how an expansion will look. So of course the rules will go with the Seven Wonders rules, and we have the 4 player boards. If you wanted, you'll see at the end that there's enough room we could put those on top. So the largest game, of course, is Takenoko in this box. It takes up the most space. But actually, this way we found out, if you box them separately, it's just too much game for a small box. So you have to go into the medium, but you still have tons of room left over. But in here, we can fit it in just slightly larger than a small, so it saves you some space there. So there is all of Takenoko. As you can see, in just barely larger than the Seven Wonders space. So that was actually pretty crazy that we found out. And then next we're going to move on to Tokaido, which, despite its huge box, it takes up absolutely no space at all. It also saves a ton of space boxing in here, because it takes up like a third of a small box. So of course you can add the board to the board sleeve. As you saw, I don't know if you noticed there, the player pieces are too tall to stand upright, so you just lay them on their side. And then all it is the player board, the character boards, 2 decks of cards, and the money and the player pieces. And so that all fits right there in that tiny amount of space. So we've got a small and a half left of room. And we are going to move on to Ghost Stories, the base game. There's a fair amount of game in this one. With all the minis, it takes up a bit of space. I don't know if you guys saw the video of it separately. It fits, I believe we said in a small box, but with its White Moon expansion, it has to go up to a medium. So there are the tiles and the cards, and then all of the player pieces, the ghosts and all that. We've got a divider in there, so we have about a small box left of room, honestly. And so if you have another Bauza game, a bigger one. You fit very nicely, have a few expansions. But we're going to add Samurai Spirit. It's a very small game, so it doesn't take up very much room at all. So it's just a deck of cards and those little tokens. And so, as you can see, tons of space left over in that section. And then, of course, if this is all you had, just the base games, you could then put the Takenoko player boards right on top. They fit very nicely, and they're kind of flimsy, so it's nice you could put them in here and not rattling around in the board sleeve. The other boards, like the Seven Wonders boards, are too tall, it won't close, but they're pretty sturdy. So there you have it, all the base games. We've got Seven Wonders, Takenoko, Tokaido, Ghost Stories, and Samurai Spirit. And now we are going to add in the Tokaido Crossroads expansion. And we also are going to put in Seven Wonders Leaders and Takenoko Chibis. We have the White Moon expansion, but it does not fit in this box. But with its current, it will not, we can't add it to all of this. But we'll show you kind of what that looks like. There's an option. So you just got to shuffle all the pieces down to make some room. And so the boards, of course, fit very nicely right in with the others. And then the dividers that you'll get with the boxes will be obviously much sturdier than these little note cards. But I'll just kind of show you what it looks like. So now we are adding in Takenoko Chibis expansion. If we can get the box open. So of course, add the rules. We've got a nice stack of boards and rules going here. So you've got the new tiles. And the nice thing about the Chibis is all of the new tiles and whatnot, they're all labeled so you can easily see that it's the expansion. Yeah, so the dividers will have they'll have legs, so they kind of will hold their place. You don't have to keep shoving things around. So yeah, all it is cards, boards, babies, and Miss Panda, which are coming. There they are. Babies and Miss Panda. So there is Takenoko Chibis. And now we are going to add Seven Wonders Leaders, which is another small deck of cards and a new score pad. So add the new board to the stack and the rules. How did I do this? So you've got the new deck of cards, and those score sheets will fit very nicely on their side or on top, just like that. And you just got all of the Seven Wonders tokens to go back in. Got to flatten them out there so they don't take up too much room. And then, let's see, that is it. So, of course, you could put those player boards for Takenoko still back on top if you wanted. And as you can see, the Crossroads fits if you want. Let's see if it might be enough to close it still. Well, yeah, it would work, but I don't know, I'd probably just throw that in the board sleeve. That way you don't have to worry about any bowing.
These.
Yeah, so the Takenoko boards will fit. So there is 7 Wonders with the leaders, Takenoko with Chibis, Tokaido with Crossroads, Ghost Stories base game, and Samurai Spirit tucked there in the very back, in an extra large BITBOX. Now we do have the White Moon expansion. It obviously will not fit in this box as it currently stands. So you have a couple options. You could pack it in its own small box, or if you take out, like we can take out Samurai Spirit here. And let's see if it adds enough room to throw in White Moon. So it's not too much room that we saved, that we gained. And of course, Samurai Spirit will fit on its own in a small, with plenty of room. You could fit a few other card games. Yeah, so you put the White Moon board with the ever-growing stack of boards. Got a deck of cards and then some tokens. So it's a tight fit. Let's see. There you go. So you got to do a little bit of shuffling, but there is the White Sun, or White Moon. I apologize. White expansion in the extra large big box with all the others. Okay, so we're gonna measure all these boards here. So we're gonna start stacking. So you got Tokaido on the bottom, 7 Wonders, then Ghost Stories, Samurai.
Well, Samurai Spirit we took out.
Oh yeah, Samurai Spirit is not in the current, but it adds all of like 2 milliliters tall. That is for White Moon. We've got all the rules. Got a pen ruler. Let's see, and the board sleeve is what, 1 3/4 inch tall, I believe. Or is that no?
I can't remember.
I don't remember off the top of my head, but I will add it in the description once I remember what it is.
This is...
Because it isn't. It's definitely larger than that.
It's over 1.5 inches.
So this is 1.5 inches. So I can't recall what the height is at this moment, but I do know it is taller than 1.5 inches.
You probably have to...
I looked it up really quickly. So the board sleeve is 1 3/4 tall. This is a little over 1.5. So all of this should fit in one board sleeve. So, which is handy. But I mean, the bit boxes come with 2 anyway, so you can divide things up differently.
Throw some of these rules maybe on top.
And as you can see, you might be able to fit some rules in there just to keep things together. But there you have it. Okay, so there is an extra large bit box, packed full with 7 Wonders, Ghost Stories, Takenoko, Tokaido, Takenoko Chibis, Tokaido Crossroads, 7 Wonders Leaders, and Ghost Stories White Moon. Or you could take out Ghost Stories White Moon and put in Samurai Spirit if you so choose, as we had in earlier. And it all fits in an extra large bit box, which does save a fair amount of space, actually. It saves you definitely a small, potentially up to a medium extra space. It all fits in one tray. So there you have it.